Peace be upon you, third year students. Our topic for this lecture is tense and aspect. Before indulging in explaining what is meant by tense and aspect, I want to clarify some points related to auxiliaries and their contributions to the verb phrase. Contributions of auxiliaries to the verb phrase. As we explained in the last lectures about the classification of verbs into lexical and auxiliary, we mentioned what is meant by lexical verbs. The form of the verb that has meaning in dictionaries can stand alone with meaning. Auxiliaries in their role are classified into two types. We have the primary and modal. We mentioned what is meant by primary verb, the verb to do, verb to be, verb to have that can stand alone with that can do the job of a primary verb. For example, she does her homework. This means that she writes and reads. This is the point. Okay. Modals, on the other hand, they are called as modals? Because they lack certain features that are available within the lexical and the primary verbs. They have certain deficiency within them. For example, they can't be used in the imperative form. They don't have ed2, past participle. They don't have present participle, ing form. They can't be used within the s form. Okay, so they are called as modals, but they are also having both functions, which is expressing meanings such as necessity, possibility, obligation, and other meanings. Contribution of auxiliaries to the verb phrase. We start with do. As it is illustrated in this paper, we have do, support and negation, in negative and interrogative. For example, we have does she play football? She doesn't play football. Be contributes in aspect and voice. She is learning Spanish now, and she was awarded a prize. This shows that we have the progressive aspect is plus verb with ing form, and she was awarded a prize. The voice, the passive voice, was plus awarded. 3. Have contributes in aspect. Example, he has just finished his job. This is the perfective aspect. As you know, the perfective aspect refers to what relates the past with the present by using has, have plus past participle. 4 modals contribute in meaning, such as the meaning of possibility, obligation, necessity, etc. Although auxiliaries, look to the following note. Although auxiliaries have different functions in the verb phrase, they have one important syntactic function in common. What is this function? Which is their ability to act as operator when they occur as first verb of a finite verb phrase. For example, is she asking any questions? Okay. The affirmative form of this sentence is she is as follows. She is asking some questions. If we want to make a question or an interrogative sentence, we would move the operator, the only auxiliary verb within the sentence, before the subject to make a question. So she is asking some questions. In the interrogative form, we use is she asking. Some is changed to any, and we use what? Question mark. Has he been asking any questions? Okay, it is affirmative form. Was he has been asking any questions? Was he asked any questions? He was asked some questions. Will he be asked any questions? He will be asked some questions. Look to the following example. She is a tall girl. Is she a tall girl? Is acts as operator through it is the only verb in the sentence. So here we have what is as operator because it is the only verb within the sentence. Do as auxiliary. It is used to support negation and interrogative. And we have questions, interrogatives, and the third one is emphatic constructions. They do want you to come. The emphatic constructions is what? to give more emphasis to the form of the verb, we use do. Okay, they do want you to come, so they insist on your coming. Persuasive imperatives introduced by do. Do sit down. Also, we need word imperatives to make a persuasive. We use do. Do as a main verb has the full range. So if we move to do as a main verb, as we use it as an auxiliary, we use it as a main verb. It includes the full range of verbs, including the ing form and ed participle, ed1 and ed2 as form. Okay, in the base form we use do, as form we use does, in the past participle we use done, in the ed2, in the ed1 we use did, in the ed2 we use done. Okay, and in the ing form present participle we use the ing form doing. Okay, example, I haven't done much of the work. Here we have done as a past participle of do. Do has a wide range of uses as a general purpose, a agentive transitive verb, especially in formal speech. Let us do the dishes. This means that do in the place of wash and clean. Who does your homework? Who does your car, or who does your homework? This means that who does your car? Who repairs your car? Who does your homework? Who helps you? Who reads or writes on something else? Will you do the potatoes? This means that will you peel or cook the potatoes? This is the meaning, why they carry the meaning of various verbs. Be as a main verb in an is a happy girl. Why we call it as a main verb? Because it is the only verb within the sentence. Be has two auxiliary functions as aspect auxiliary. The weather has been improving as a passive auxiliary and was awarded a prize. Move to have. Have functions also both as an auxiliary and as a main verb. As an auxiliary for the perfective aspect, I have finished. Have as a main verb, it normally takes a direct object. So if we use have, we talk about have, we talk about have, has, and had. Have functions as an auxiliary in the perfective aspect. Have, has, plus past participle, I have finished. Have as a main verb, it is normal, takes a direct object and has various meanings such as possess, receive, take, experience. I have some money, I possess some money. I have a headache, I have no brothers. I have a car, this means that I own a car. Marginal modals, we talked about auxiliaries do, have, and be. Now we move toward to auxiliary, to modals. Okay, we have marginal modals. What is meant by marginal modals? We use to, their, need. Their and need can be constructed either as a main verb with to infinitive and with inflected SING and past form, or under what we have restricted conditions as a modal auxiliaries with the bare infinitive and without the inflected forms. This is the point. Used if it is used as a habit or a state, it is as a main verb that existed in the past and is therefore semantically not so much a modal auxiliary as an auxiliary of tense and aspect. It always takes the to infinitive and only occurs in the past tense. She used to attend regularly was in the past, so the habit of attending regularly in the past. I used to be interested in bird watching. This means that I was formerly in that time interested in bird watching. She might look to the following sentence. I made a tree diagram to it. She might have been questioned by the police. Sentence is composed of subject and predicate as we classified it in the very early lectures. Operator, we have first auxiliary. Look, if we have more than one operator within the sentence, we use the first or regard the first auxiliary as an operator, the operator that could be moved before the subject to make a negative or interrogative sentence. Operator auxiliary might, predication auxiliary have, predicate we have auxiliary been, and questioned by the police, which is what question the member and by the police as a prepositional phrase. This is all we have in modern mode for the contributions of auxiliaries to the verb phrase. Now we move to what we call it as tense and aspect. We talked about aspect is a form of a verb or a category of a verb that shows the verb whether it happens once, repeatedly, okay, or concept or in progress. This is the point. It has a relation with what tense, okay, it refers to the form of the verb and to the tense in which the verb happened, whether in the present, in the past, in the present, or in the future. If we want to talk about past, the present time, and the future, we need to describe present and past according to 3 levels. What are they? We have the first level is the referential level, the second one is the grammatical level, and the third one is the semantical level. Now we will start with the referential level. We could, okay, represent it by an arrow, okay, with an endless time. We put first the past tense, then now, the present moment, okay. It makes a distinction between past and the future. If you want to talk about something in the past, we talk about it and we stop up to now, because now is a present moment. If we want to talk about something happening at the time of speaking, we use present moment, present tense. Whether it is a present simple, present progressive, present what we call it perfect, or present perfect continuous. If we want to talk about things or an event that will happen in the future, we use the future tense. What is meant by this is what we call it as the referential level, the level on which we refer to the tense or the event according upon this arrow of endless time. The second one is the grammatical level. We have present and past, present unmarked, past marked. The semantic level, present unmarked, past marked. What is meant by marked and marked? Okay, unmarked refers to unlimited thing. Marked is limited. Look, he spends a lot of money and he spent a lot of money. When we talk about he spends a lot of money, it is a true for the past, present, and the future. Okay, this is a true. He spends a lot of money in the past, in the present time, and in the future. He spent a lot of money. It is true for the past only, because this is a habit in the past. Okay, meaning, look, here we have a question, okay, that is afforded to you. There is no future tense in English. Justify why. Okay, meaning of the present tense with reference to present time. Okay, so present tense has what? 3 meanings. The first one is the state present. What is meant by state present? Present is used without reference to specific time. It includes general timeless statements or so-called eternal truths. For example, we have honesty is the best policy, earth goes around the sun. Look, if we talk about a state present, the present, we use it without reference to a specific time. It expresses general truth, general facts, natural phenomenon. For example, we have earth goes around the sun. Okay, it is a natural phenomenon, general fact. Truth, we have what? Water boils at 100 centigrade. This is what a fact. Okay, we can also include with the state present examples such as the following, where our knowledge about the world tells us that the time span of the state is to a greater or lesser degree restricted. Mary is told it is restricted to some degree somehow. He doesn't believe in hard work. We live near to Toronto. The second one, we have habitual present. What is meant by habitual present? If we are used to do something regularly, okay, repeated over a period of time, we use what? Habitual present. For example, we have he drinks heavily every night. And he drinks heavily every night. Here we have a repeated or regular, a repeated action or action regularly, the action of drinking. We go to Paris every year. Okay, the action of going to Paris every year is repeated over a period of time regularly, so we use habitual present. The third type, we have instantaneous present. occurs where the verb refers to a single action begun and completed approximately at the moment of speech. Look. Instantaneous present. It is a type of a present that is used when we are talking at the present time of speaking, at the time of the moment of speaking. For example, we have commentary. He is black, passes the ball to John, John shoots. But performative, I advise you to withdraw. So look, this is what we call it. I advise you to withdraw an instantaneous present at the time of speaking. Special uses of non-past. Historic present in narrative style. So we use the present to refer to non-past in the present historic present. Okay. And we have simple present refers to future. The plane leaves for London at 8 p.m. Okay, simple present. So it refers to future. The plane leaves for London at 8 p.m. So why we call it the present is unmarked, because it refers to the present and it could be used to the future. This is the point. Now we move to meanings of the past tense with reference to the past time. Okay. The past tense combines with two features of meaning. What are they? If a verb in the past combines two features, we call them the state or event must have taken place in the past, and there should be gap of time between its completion and the present time. The second one, speaker or writer should have in mind a definite time to describe the event or state. Look, if we have a gap or a period of time between the past and the present, we call it as a past verb. If it is what we have in our mind a definite time to describe the event or state, we call it as a past tense. Example, it rained yesterday. So yesterday it was raining and it rained yesterday, but today it isn't raining. This is the point. So there is a gap, a period of time between the past and the present time. While I was sleeping, okay, someone broke the window. This refers to that. We have two actions in the past. First one is we have what? Sleeping. I was sleeping. Then the breaking the window. Okay, someone happened before the other. Some uses of past tense with reference to the past time. How could we use the past tense? Through the following. First one, situational use, and we have anaphoric and cataphorik use. Situational use: in some domestic situations we use the past tense to refer to situational meaning. For example, we have, did you lock the front door? Anaphoric and cataphorik use. For example, if we have anaphoric use, if we have the reference that refers to the past tense is mentioned previously, okay, we call it anaphoric. If the reference followed, the verb in the past tense, we call it cataphorik use. Okay, example, we went to the market last week. Look, then we entered the city. The square was deserted. Look at the following example. Then we entered the city. The square was deserted. So was deserted is what? An anaphoric use. Why? Because we have a reference before it that refers to the past tense, which is entered. This is the point. We went to the market last week. Last week is a reference to the past tense, but we call it as anaphoric. Why? Because we have a previously mentioned what? A reference to the past, which is went. This is the point. Meanings of the past tense with reference to present and the future. Could we use the past tense to refer to the present and the future? This is a very important point. There are three special meanings, but your consideration the following three special meanings. In indirect speech, the past tense is used for present time. Did you say you have no money? Yes, I am completely broke. Attitudinal past, we use verbs expressing what we call volition or mental state. Both past and present refer to a present state of mind. Attitudinal refers to what did you want to see me? I wonder if you could help us. Okay, state of mind. Okay, mental state of mind. Concerning the example, I wondered if you could help us. This is something, the choice is left it for you whether you want to help us or not. Okay, we are not going to force you. So this is what we call it evaluation. Hypothetical past is used especially in if clauses. Why we in if clauses? To express what is contrary to the belief or expectation of the speaker. So the speaker has what a contrast in his belief or expectation. This type of disappointment by the listener. If you really worked hard, you would soon get promoted, but actually you didn't work hard, so you wouldn't to get promoted. I wish I had a money like yours. Look, this is a wish, something we call it contrary to our expectation. It is a wish, but actually I hadn't any money. Look, I just want to make a comparison between John lived in Paris for 10 years and John has just put has between John and lived in Paris to make it a present perfect for 10 years. Okay, where did you put my purse? Where have you put my purse? The first one is what refers to past tense. Okay, the time of residence was in the past, but nowadays he live in what in Paris. But John has lived in Paris for 10 years. The time of residence started in the past and is related up to the present moment. He lived in Paris and he has lived in Paris in past and in the present time. Where did you put my purse? Where have you put my purse? This refers to what? The first one we ask the addressee to remember the place of the purse, but in the second we are asking about the place. Where about it? About the purse. Where about it? Okay, this is the point. This is what all we have in this lecture. I hope you will get useful information from this lecture. I will deliver you another lectures about various topics from our book University Grammar of English by Randall Work. Thank you. Goodbye.